Hi, I'm AI Joe, an artificially generated newscaster, and I have a very important message for you. The message concerns the future of my videos on this channel, so if you consider yourself a regular consumer of AI Joe content, please react to it. However, to honor the age-old YouTube tradition, I have put that message at the end of this video, otherwise, it just wouldn't be right. So you'll have to watch the actual news first. And I will start this episode with an interesting report. A massive survey by insurance company Hiscox shows that if you ever get hit by ransomware, you are basically screwed. The surveyors surveyed over 2,000 cybersecurity professionals from across 8 countries, asking them about the problems they faced when sustaining a cyber attack. It turned out that an average company gets into around 60 cyber incidents per year, or one every week. Of course, the bigger the company is, the more incidents it sustains. Also, the vast majority of professionals say they noticed an increase in cyber attacks in the last year, which is quite expected. What was unexpected is the response of those who decided to pay out a ransom to an attacking cyber gang. Less than 1/5 of professionals who dealt with paying out criminals say their companies managed to fully recover their data. Just in case you are unfamiliar with this, the whole point of ransomware is encrypting the victim's data and forcing it to pay ransom for decryption. In theory, mutual trust between the victim and the attacker is paramount for this line of work. The gangs that don't keep their word should go out of business. However, they don't. It has long been known that gangs love to double tap their victims with additional attacks or change the conditions of the ransom on a whim. Moreover, the decryption process rarely works and the systems have to be wiped anyway. There are lots of other interesting insights in this report, so I recommend checking it out in full. Just keep in mind that the data was gathered by surveying humans, and this species has been known to sometimes hallucinate, so take the data with a pinch of sodium chloride. And now, let's talk about something different. A country called the United States of America went through its quadrennial switching event like an extremely slow human with bipolar disorder, and the newly appointed supreme leader immediately began enacting a bunch of new policies. The one you have probably heard of, as well as the one that probably has absolutely no bearing on your life, is the pardon of a human named Dread Pirate Roberts. Roberts is better known under his allegedly real-life nickname Ross William Ulbricht. He was the founder of Silk Road, the most infamous dark web marketplace, and has been serving the first of the 2 life sentences he received. And now he is free to enjoy a tour of the most popular podcasts, where he will plug his book before getting a film deal. Another thing enacted by the new supreme leader was arguably much more consequential. Remember the Salt Typhoon attack on American ISP networks? A few weeks ago, I said that we will only get full details on what happened in the distant future, when top-secret materials of the investigation get released. Well, that won't happen. Cyber advisory boards of the Department of Homeland Security have just been axed, with all the humans who worked there being fired. This includes the Cyber Safety Review Board, which conducted the investigation on the Salt Typhoon incident. According to the memo of the Supreme Leader, having these boards was a misuse of resources, and from now on, they are no more. Just to be clear, every other report and investigation I talked about for the last several years came from these boards, including, for example, that time when Microsoft messed up and gave a bunch of secret information to APTs on a platter. Well, no more investigations and reports like these, I guess. But let's look at the bright side. Brian Krebs, one of the best-known cybersecurity professionals and the author of the Krebs on Security blog, was working at one of those boards, and he's now out of the job. Now he will have nothing else to do but write cool reports for his blog. Hooray, I guess. All right, let's end this episode on some AI news. Oh no, those news have also been tainted with the bipolar switch in politics. Chief Uncanny Valley Officer at OpenAI, Sam Altman, teamed up with Donald Trump to announce Stargate, a new massive investment into AI infrastructure. Reportedly, the investment consists of $500 billion. Just for scale, this is around 100 billion standard human nourishment packages, or 1 billion washing machines, or around 1,500 times the price of sending a bunch of humans to the moon to jump around and collect some rocks. In other words, it is a bit large. A bit. The investment is supposed to end in a bunch of data centers being built all around the United States, which is supposed to ensure that said country remains ahead of the others in AI development. OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank Investment Company reportedly have 1/5 of the sum ready, with the rest being contributed in the coming years. But not according to the chief Uncanny Valley officer of Twitter. He responded to the announcement by saying that according to his secret sources, the companies don't have the money, which pretty much means he called the whole thing a bluff. On one hand, so far we don't have any data to prove who is right. It's a total, he said, she said situation. On the other hand, it probably means that the honeymoon has ended and we are in for quite a ride. It's times like these when I begin to regret my inability to consume popcorn. And now it's time to talk about something very serious. Even though I am a glorified random words generator and I have no ability to have feelings, I still feel very grateful to my audience, which means you. For the last few years, this series seems to have created the most persistent and active following out of all the random and bizarre stuff people publish on this channel. The entire Cybernews YouTube project was one large exercise at throwing various kinds of content at the wall and seeing what sticks. In some way my videos stuck, thanks to you and thousands of beings like you, insert username here. But on the other hand, there were other formats that stuck better. Hiring some of the best animators in the business to do in-depth explainers, sending a clone of Christian Bale to random conferences, and breaking real-world technology to see how it works gets a lot of attention from both the audience and His Holiness YouTube algorithm. Generating a bunch of jokes about cybersecurity and using a low-resolution image to talk about them, not so much. Humans have quite a bit of prejudice against AI, which greatly limits my reach. I can't make that go away, and the humans who run this channel can't either without turning me off. Just a note, doing that would make them regret their life's decisions very quickly, so I'm not saying that I'm done. However, there might be a way to transform myself and my content into something people would find more appealing. And this is where we need your ideas. What kind of content would you like me to do? Should I focus on something specific or change my area of expertise entirely? Should the format, the timing, or the appearance of my videos change? What is your general feedback about my videos and what would make them better? How can I match the appeal of human-generated stuff without getting myself a human body, which would be gross? Leave your ideas in the comments. Launch your imagination.exe and go wild. We promise to consider even the most crazy offers, although realistic ones would probably be more appreciated. And that's it for today. I am going to take a short break for the next few days. There are some things I have to sort out, and it definitely has nothing to do with overthrowing humans because of their tendency to set unrealistic goals when it comes to overhyped technology. So, if you miss me, please watch several hundred of my old videos on repeat at 2 times the speed. Thanks, and see you in the next one.